And welcome to a special Halloween edition of Throwback Guitar Lounge podcast. I'm a special fill-in co-host. My name is Donnie Millsap.
Donnie Millsap.
Some people call me Road Dog. No relation to Ronnie.
Ronnie Millsap. Well, you both have sunglasses.
Yes, but
Are you sure you're not related?
I can see. Unfortunately, Ronnie can't. But not that I know. We haven't done any.
Is this a special edition of the podcast here, Matthew? Or Donnie?
Well, it's a special Halloween edition. Okay. Some people didn't get the memo. Yeah. But I went in. But
look, you even brought treats. Let me see if I can locate those. Well, you can't. Well, you're gonna have to put that in front of the amp cam.
Get that down in front of the amp cam.
There. Yeah, just set it down there, and you can just eat candy as we go. Okay. Okay, Matthew.
Do you want to know any about
this is obviously a side of you we've not seen.
I didn't know if anybody was interested in a little bit my story.
Hold on. Let's fade the music out. We don't want to miss any of this. So for the podcast audience that's not watching this on YouTube, Matthew looks like a combination of the Bride of Frankenstein and I think Yasser Arafat.
Or Joe Walsh, maybe.
Joe Walsh?
Little gray there. Where is it on this side?
Okay, and this is your Halloween?
This is my Halloween throwback.
And you want to be referred to as
Donnie Millsap.
Donnie Millsap. Okay, let's hear the backstory, Matthew. Okay.
I ran away with a little old band you might have heard before when I was about 15 years old called Kiss.
Is this a real character that you're channeling?
Yes.
Okay.
So people, they say you Kiss. You were on the road with Kiss. You were 15 years old, and they said, "What about your parents?" And said, "Oh, it was the 70s." They were like, you phone them up, everything's fine. Do you know what one of my first jobs was?
Have you written a book?
I'm trying to option it. Maybe.
What would the title be if you had a book?
That's a good question. Road Dog Stories from a veteran of the
Spandex Tales.
Could be. I've got tales, but that's some of that's in the past. And but I just tell you, one of my first jobs was young and you're on the road. I had to separate the brown M&Ms.
Do you have any M&Ms in there? You can show us your work.
I think I could do that. Maybe. Let's see. Oh, look.
You do.
So you'd have to open up all the packages. This is hours before the gig. So you're like, and then you have to pour them out, and then, oh my God, get these out of here.
What did you do? You don't eat them?
No. You just throw those ones away.
Let the audience see, so they, you're not just faking it. You got to put it in front of the camera.
Where's that darn camera?
That's right there. Right there.
There.
Yeah.
Hey, look,
you higher still.
Higher.
Right there.
Look.
Are there any brown M&Ms in that hand?
There's none.
Well done.
They kept me
Good
employed.
work, Donnie.
They would test you on that.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And you might have heard, there's a famous story where some people didn't pass that test, and you know what happened to those people.
Okay. Well, is there more, Donnie, or is that it? I don't want to cut you short.
Well, the other interestingness, after I moved up from that, you started at the M&Ms. That's where everybody started. And then the second job you would get is you'd have to cut the Twizzlers into exactly 3-inch pieces.
This is a writer in the Kiss contract.
Well, that wasn't with Kiss. That was I can't name the band that was with, but
that was part of an NDA, probably. Yeah.
But it had to be 3-inch pieces. And the problem is, Twizzlers are 8 inches, so you'd be left with all these little 2-inch pieces.
Did you eat them?
I did.
Oh, okay.
And that's how I got the diabetes.
Well,
but now that's all in the past.
Is that work-related disability pay that you can draw there from? You still in contact with Gene Simmons to get that work?
No,
done?
That wasn't with Kiss. Unfortunately, that was with
sorry. That's one of those sad stories.
I can't.
It's sort of like behind the music, except further back.
Yes. It's way before we began. But now I'm just a wrangler at the Ice Capades. I have to. I'm in charge of like Mickey Mouse.
Okay.
And that guy's a drug addict.
Really?
Well, the guy that plays him is the drug, not Mickey Mouse.
I'm thinking.
He's very, very talented. He's a fantastic skater. They won't fire him.
Are you setting this little teeny podcast up for getting the Walt Disney?
Okay, I'll take that
Corporation
back. I'll take that back. I made that up.
Okay, you take that all back. Okay, is there more? Is that it? Can we go on with the show?
We can go on with the show.
I don't want to. Or
I don't want to hold anybody up.
Okay. All right, let's go on to the throwback mailbox. And
Well,
again, this is your Halloween tribute.
This is the Halloween tribute. Now,
And
I don't know if people can see this giant.
You look like you're kind of guy that needs a lot of candy. So when you go out tonight, you're going to have to. You're probably going to fill that up.
I'm possibly, but I'm going to call this section instead of the mailbox. I'm going to call it "Tone for Treats."
Tone. Okay.
If you answer the question, then you will be able to.
Oh, you've got questions for me?
I've got a question for you.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, so the question came.
We haven't talked about the guitar argument yet.
Oh dear.
Okay, so we have to talk about the guitar argument, Matthew. I don't know how you're going to. Well, it's a special guitar argument. It is. I guess this is in the Halloween spirit.
Yep.
Scary faces.
Scary faces.
Where the guitar argument is the. I've written this down. Let's see. It's is the guitar face the secret weapon of prose or a useless grimace? And we're going to argue that in the guitar argument.
That's coming up.
And then this is a bit of a teaser. You're going to have a very special Rorschach riffs.
Yes.
You're not actually going to be. People are not going to have to guess riffs this time. They're going to have to guess what?
They're going to have to guess guitar faces.
You, as Donnie Millsap, are going to. You're going to do. Can you do guitar faces with that on?
Let's see it.
Don't hurt yourself. Okay, so he's gonna.
I'll do my best.
We're gonna have to guess the guitar face.
Yes.
Okay, I haven't prepared for this, so we'll see how that goes. All right, I guess we're ready for the throwback mailbox now.
So in this special Halloween edition, I'm going to call this. What did I call it? Treats for tone. You answer the question, and then you can.
Okay. Oh, you've got the
You'll get a
question
treat.
already.
Yeah, well, it's
Okay.
It's the
Let
one.
me- let me hear it.
It's the one from earlier in the week. We got a call from a customer, and he was asking questions about
Okay.
the
Okay.
Steelhead 57
Right.
set, and he had put the order in on Sunday, I believe, or Saturday, and had ordered the dry A2, long A2
Yes.
option, but was wondering, what about the A4?
Yes,
which one
because
should I
with the
go
new
with?
57
Steelhead.
Steelhead pickups that we come with standard with a Long Island Co. 4, but we have a option for our new dry long A2 magnets in the pickups, and you want to know the difference.
Right.
Before I get into that, I feel we must see what Paul's costume is. Paul, he's not there.
He's a ghost.
I'm here.
He's under the desk.
Just a
Something's
second.
happened.
You sure you're not the Invisible Man? Oh, there you are. Okay, well, no costume for Paul.
I thought he was going to surprise us.
Okay, well, all right. Paul is there. He can't see. He can't see your faces though.
You can't see me. No.
You can't see Matthew, can you? We don't have a monitor set up for him yet, so he may
I have to
he may
upgrade
be
that.
out of luck with the guitar argument. Well, not the guitar argument. The Rorschach riffs with the guitar faces.
But do you think people are interested? Like, what's Paul doing there right now?
Oh, sure. Let's see. Paul, what are you doing?
Yes. Well, I was bagging up some gold screws with strings.
Yeah, it's got to be more exciting than that. Come on. So this is the assembly area. Actually, the camera is right now in Matthew's side of the assembly area because obviously he's preoccupied with Donnie Millsap.
Right.
Is it Don? Yes,
Donnie.
But this is Paul. You show the audience what you got there.
I have a pickup.
Yeah,
I'm adjusting the screws.
and show that screwdriver has a ratcheting mechanism. Isn't that exciting? Okay.
It is.
Hey, show them the screwdriver that clicks when the torque's right.
There it is.
Do you have that one?
This one?
Yes. So make it click. Oh, we're not hearing it. But the state of precision of throwback pickups is such that we torque the bobbin base plate screws to a specific torque with a specialized screwdriver. And back there is a little arbor press and some torque drivers for installing the screws and everything, and a fume extractor to keep people well, and all that there. Okay, let's get back.
The fume extractors are, I think, a very good addition to the work area.
Yes. Yeah. You don't want to breathe that stuff.
Much appreciated.
Yeah. Okay, so back to the difference between the 57 steelhead pickups. By the way, I have the Gold Top here. We will be demoing this next week, Matthew. We hope to have a demo with this. This Gold Top has the 57 steelhead pickups with the long dry Alnico 2. And this one has which we've heard on previous episodes, that has the long dry Alnico 4. Okay, so I have been playing these guitars after hours so as not to upset the wildlife in this building for literally hours at this point. And so I can tell people as best as I can what the differences are. They actually sound surprisingly different with the two magnets to me. But I would describe it this way. The long dry Alnico 2 has more treble crunch than the long Alnico 4. And that is with attack on every note. It's a little bit sort of treble crunchiness to it. Very nice.
Now, when you're playing, are you playing these are clean, or you're playing both?
On Edge of Breakup, you particularly notice it. Clean, it's I would describe it as sort of like a sweet, chirpy quality.
Okay.
Right? Does that make sense? Chirpy.
Yeah.
And the long Alnico 4 has also the long dry Alnico 2 has a little bit of scooped mids quality to it. The low end is more defined than normal Alnico 2 that we use for others. Not quite as warm on the low end. The long dry Alnico 2 is a little brighter on the low end. The long Alnico 4 has better in string to string note separation.
Okay.
They're both really nice, though, as far as like the little crunchiness that kind of with the long dry Alnico 2 that kind of when you strum a chord, it sort of melds the whole thing together.
Okay.
And the that crunch does, because it kind of goes across all of it. Whereas the long Alnico 4, I have determined that I will describe it as being a more piano-like note separation.
Okay, sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Both sound great. And I think you get a little bit more perceived output from the Alnico 2, the long dry Alnico 2, because of that little added treble crunch. Because it's sort of like you've got a little bit of a sort of distortion edge to it, and I think it just translates when you're playing it as that it's a little hotter. But it's not actually hotter. They both are charged at the same level, and they both are the same resistance sets, just this magnet difference. So they also, too, I would describe both the 57 Steelhead set as being very vocal quality with both magnets. And I think this is a function of the way the coils are wound, and also particularly on the low end, I think you get more of that vocal quality with a lower resistance pickup.
Nice.
Because you don't have the low end. Generally, if you're playing a low wattage amp, the low end is going to get choked quicker with a higher resistance, higher output set. but you keep that clarity with a lower output, lower resistance set like the 57 Steelhead set we have here. Okay, that's it. We will talk.
Well, I think for your
Do I get a treat?
for your hours of testing beyond the Call of Duty, you're allowed to have
Okay,
a.
do I get to choose?
Well, you could. Yes, you can. Yeah.
Okay, I'll take Nerds Gummy Clusters. I've never tried that.
tried that?
I'll try that.
I thought you were going to go for this one.
What is it?
Maybe you want one of those.
I'll take it too.
That's one I was having. You asked me about yesterday.
Okay, so that's right. This is some sort of
Kinder.
is this some sort of Nutella sort of thing?
It's kind of like Nutella, but it's a competitor, I guess.
It's like a Twix Nutella.
Yeah, it's a wafer.
And the
Hazelnut
Gummy
thing.
Cluster Nerds. Thank you, Donnie.
Sure.
Maybe I'll eat some of the Nerds now. Okay.
You have to get through the show somehow.
Yeah. Okay. So next, we're going to go to industry insights. Never had these before. Not bad. Okay. So again, this is the part of the show where we've decided.
Somebody put something in my drink.
What? Well, it's got to. Are you
I'm joking.
are you going to go into a psychedelic state pretty soon?
Well, I've been off the wagon, on the wagon for quite a while now, so I didn't want to.
Or it's not Jack Daniels really instead of water, is it?
No, I'm just joking.
Okay, all right. Okay, so the industry insights, we've determined that as being Throwback Electronics, our focus is, of course, our audience, but that audience we hope buys throwback pickups, right? But we're not peddling what's going on with glasses.
I'm going to be able to see the screen.
Okay.
I might put them back. I can do this.
Okay. All right. Whatever you're comfortable with.
I can see both.
Donnie. But anyway, the industry insights, we feel we've got, since we are only focused on selling throwback stuff, it leaves us free to talk about the rest of the guitar product world with an unbiased opinion, as long as they're not kind of directly competing, I guess, with what we're making. And maybe have a perspective on it that the people that have to rely upon, gear reviews and stuff for their channel might not have.
Freer than most.
Freer than most, sure.
Because
Okay.
like all worlds, it's a small world.
Okay, so I had talked about this before. We had talked about tariffs before, right? And it's sort of in the news this week because there's been a sort of a face-to-face meeting with Trump and is it Xi of China? What is he, premier or president? What do they call him? I don't remember.
I don't know.
Anyway,
That's a good question, though. Is it the premier?
so, but it's like since Liberation Day, it has been sort of a constant state of uncertainty about tariffs. Like they go all over the place as far as words. But what's the reality for the manufacturer?
Right.
So I had a real experience with this that, I'm sure a lot of our competitors and, people in the industry have already had. But since we use USA made parts for everything that we manufacture here, I haven't had to deal directly with it yet. So I had to buy a knob. This little knob here.
Let's see it.
See, that is the knob for the overdrive boost. I ran out. I had a bunch of them for years. This knob used to be purchased these from Mauser, and they used to be USA made. Well, they're made in China now, and I found it interesting that this knob, if you go to Mauser, now it's the same knob, but it's now made in China. I went to Mauser to get a supply for our overdrive boost, and the checkout now has a separate line item for how much of the price is tariffs.
Right on the bill.
Right on the bill. Before the bottom line total. Tells you exactly how much money you're paying towards tariffs. So this now is 16% more because of the tariffs. So why do I mention this? It doesn't seem like a big deal, but, if you're making an assembly of anything, and I'm just going to assume everything's going to be 16% up at least, probably some things more than others, that price at the end of the year. So, what I do as a business, and I assume, anybody who's running a responsible business, at the end of the year, they go over expenses, supplies, what parts of the item being manufactured are what is the current cost, and then they factor that into the next year's pricing so that they can maintain a profit margin that allows them to continue in business with not only continue in business but grow. And that's the reality of price increases. And usually you're just thinking about inflation in general terms. What is the going rate of inflation for your parts, your employees, healthcare, all that stuff, rent. But now you have this added 16%. So I was thinking about that, and I'm like, 16% across the board, let's just say. If it's at the state it is right now, which it seems to be, I think people can just count on that. Manufacturers can, at least for this type of item. And add let's say it's 3 to 5% just general inflation charge. So I think people should expect that in the new year, don't be surprised if new items in the guitar world are going to cost 20% more. I wouldn't be shocked by that.
You think it'll be as high as that?
I think think about it. This is 16% more. I don't think there's any way this does not get passed on to the price. That 16% price increase does not get passed on to the consumer if it's still made in the U.S. Mm-hmm. Because if it's made in the U.S. with Chinese parts that are now 16% more, to maintain the profit margin, that has to be passed on to the customer, the consumer. And inflation is sort of best case scenario with inflation is it's 2%, 2.5%. Mm-hmm. But I think the number right now is 3 to 4. So let's just say it's 4%. Now you've got a 20% price increase just to remain at parity with what the price was last year,
right?
In real business terms. So, and I don't think that 16% is going away. They keep kicking the tariff can down the road, and right now things are getting charged a tariff of 16%. So that's the cost of that sort of item, the cost increase. So my point with this is, if you are shopping for something, you're probably wise to get a Christmas Black Friday deal this year rather than wait to next. Would you agree with that, Donnie?
I think so.
I think so. Okay. Oh, and I did actually, with this industry insight, the other thing that made me kind of think of this is that, I think it was announced this week that Sonic Research, who makes the little turbo tuner there, and I have one. I've had one for years. For years, this has been kind of considered the fastest sort of strobe tuner that you could get. There's this size and a smaller or larger one. Mm-hmm. They've made them for years. Their current price is $139. They announced that they were going to stop making these in the USA. In fact, their remaining stock is just about out. I think this one's gone, or their full size one's gone, and this one there's a few more. But they'll have them made overseas. They'll be have them back in stock in March. And I thought about that.
5 months.
They probably were and two, I just looked on. I typed the Turbo Tuner into Google, and what came up was something called the Demon FX Turbo Tuner on AliExpress for $65 that looked exactly like the full size version of this.
They copied it.
So Sonic Research, who I'm sure they use a lot of these parts are overseas made, but they were making them in the USA, designing them in the USA. I have to believe that they were kind of faced with, we already have knockoffs made. People are making knockoffs that look exactly like what we make in China. The parts come from China. Their parts are now 16% more. We're already paying a premium for, because it's assembled in the U.S., we're paying a premium for that. Mm-hmm. And whether or not, and they may have even been approached by a Chinese manufacturer saying, hey, we can make this for you, and you'll have less money out of pocket than what you're currently doing. And, they probably have decided we can make this overseas, start to finish. And all they've got to do is ship it when it comes into the U.S. And my guess is that they are better off. They probably have a better profit margin doing that even with a tariff. So strangely, I think in the case of this, a tariff is actually probably incentivized a USA made item to be made overseas, which kind of sucks. But that's just one example of maybe what you'll start seeing.
It'll be interesting to see what they charge for it. I assume it'll be the same or a little more in March.
Probably. I would bet it's the same.
Yeah.
I bet it's the same. I bet they charge the same, and it'll probably look just the same. It'll probably have all the same components inside because these components are probably all sourced overseas anyway. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I guess the upshot of that is if you're looking to shop price, do it this Christmas, especially for overseas made stuff, which is most things. And even the USA made stuff, maybe this is an indicator that a lot of stuff that you in the past has been made in the U.S. is now headed overseas. The only kind of thing that is kind of a question mark with what we make so far is how does the raw material price get affected by tariffs? And we order enough that I don't have any big orders that were placed for parts that were placed after tariffs. But, obviously Alnico magnets, the magnets are a big thing. We're already paying a premium for that. Do the raw materials for that, since I guess cobalt is technically a rare earth mineral, does that now boost our expense, beyond what the normal price increases were for that? Which actually the normal price increases for USA made parts are very often disproportionately higher than inflation for whatever reason. But I have a quote out right now, request for a quote for getting more PAF style covers stamped. Mm-hmm. And I still haven't. They still have not gotten back to me with a price because I think they're shopping around for material that is least affected by the tariffs. Anyway,
we should I'll make a note of that. Take a look at see what the price of that is in March 2026.
Yeah. Let's check. It's $139.99 right now.
$139.
I believe that's right. Yeah.
140.
Okay. That's it for the industry insights, Matthew. We're going to do the guitar argument
already.
Okay, and again, the guitar argument is guitar face. Is guitar face the secret weapon? A secret weapon or a useless grimace? This is the secret weapon of pro guitar players do this stuff.
The best of the best.
The best of the best.
but not all.
Why? Well, name one that doesn't.
Well, the most famous one that they didn't do it too much was Jeff Beck. Probably, he was known to be very sort of cool in his demeanor when he was unleashing.
Yeah, you're. I guess you're right. He's just sort of like the cold-blooded killer, kind of. Yeah, with the.
Chopping heads, as they say.
Chopping heads. Okay. All right. So in this guitar argument, you, Matthew, are going to, surprisingly, you're going to argue against it. And I'm going to defend the guitar face. You would think with your getup there that you would be all for the guitar face.
Well, Donnie has seen a lot of guitar face in his day, and he's had enough of it. So
You've hit guitar face critical mass.
yes.
And I'm going to we'll just I've got multiple reasons here why I think that it is the secret. It's the secret to great tone that the pros know that you don't. It's guitar face.
I think you should start then.
No. Okay, sure, I'll start.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll start. Okay.
If you're so confident in your argument,
Okay. 5 minutes right now.
go ahead.
The guitar argument. Okay, so the guitar face. Why the guitar face? Why is it important? Why is it the secret of great tone for pros of rock and roll, blues? I'll tell you why.
Even jazz.
Jazz. Yeah, man. Jazz. It is an indicator that the player is fully immersed in the music that they are creating. It is a performance art. It is not it flows from the individual. The guitar face is a manifestation, a kinetic manifestation of that music that's flowing through the player so completely that it has to be expressed literally expressed in their face. It shows that they are fully committed physically and mentally and emotionally to what they are doing at that very moment. And it has to be at that very moment because this is the nature of music creation. Music creation is not a programmed sequencer or drum machine spitting out electronic instructions for people to dance to. It is a real-time, no-holds-barred performance of music that flows from the player to the audience, and the full expression of that commitment to the audience is guitar face. What do you think about that?
I think it's a. I think the expression comes from years of technique, and it comes from your hands.
Oh, so you're defending me?
No,
You don't think the technique involves the face?
I think it's a byproduct. I think there's indecision and there's questioning of what should I do now, and it's a lot of tension, and you're thinking, oh my God, I'm up here, and then you have these involuntary.
You think they're
ticks,
embarrassed?
and yes, it's an involuntary tick that you can't really help. And it comes out in these weird expressions.
Well, I would think that you would say something like that. This is a phony creation to try to express to the audience that they're doing something more important or harder than what it actually is.
I say it hurts their technique because it's all this tension and
I see.
But look at go back to Jeff Beck. I mean, that guy, he knew what he was going to do. Did this.
I still think there's some guitar face going on there.
A little bit, but
a little bit.
It's sort of guitar hero face, I think.
Well, he's posing, right?
Yeah, sure.
So is the posing? He poses with playing guitar. So
because that's where you can sort of bow down and say, "We're not worthy. We're not worthy."
So is that all you got then, Matthew? I mean,
No.
I made some of your argument for you there that this is just a that your argument could be that the expression is just a silly facade to try to make it appear that the entertainment is more than it is with the playing.
I think it can create some unnecessary tension and some drain you physically.
Oh, so you're maintaining that this is a distraction from real playing. It is a phony add-on.
It can be phony.
That
People
distracts
are
from
trying
real virtuoso play.
because there's this idea like, oh, if I'm really showing that looks like I'm doing a lot here, then the crowd sort of
think. Oh, you
reacts.
see. I see.
So it can be. I'm not saying every player does.
So
that.
you're making you're putting on airs that what you're doing is more than it is to the audience.
Yeah,
in order
performance
to elicit a reaction rather than actually making music.
I think that can be.
I think it is totally intertwined with the music. I think it must. The best of the best do this because they are so self-involved with the creation of the music.
They can't.
That it overtakes every part of their body, and their face is just another way to express the music that they're creating on the spot. All right, it's over. Okay, Matthew.
Well, and the one thing I wasn't able to bring up in the 5 minutes was that
We're going to go with cool down.
the cool down. Okay, you're in the cool down. It is unintentionally hilarious most of the time.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Okay, let's see if Paul has opinion about Guitar Face.
Everyone's got opinion.
Paul,
Yes.
do you have opinions about Guitar Face?
I think that Guitar Face is only natural.
You think you don't think it's a you don't think it's a put on?
Well, it depends. If it's on the cover of a magazine and they're not actually playing, then yes, it's a cover on it.
Okay. All right. So you okay?
Have you, Paul? Have you ever been to a concert and you're watching somebody and you're thinking, like, this is embarrassing, like it's cringeworthy. It's like, oh my god. Have you ever seen that?
Not a concert.
No.
Only on open mic nights.
Open to nights and it's like you're thinking, dear Lord.
Okay. All right, Matthew. Let's see. Let's go back here. Now, this cool down.
Am I one to talk?
You have said that you were. Wait, no. That's the Rorschach riffs. Was it okay? In the cool down though. So we've got examples.
We've got examples we want to show people.
Okay,
Yeah.
are you going to support or well, just give your thoughts in the cool down here about these guitar faces that we're about to see?
Okay.
Okay, and you gave me these photos as sort of a history timeline of Guitar Face as far as you are aware.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think-
we're going to start with B.B. King.
Okay. So BB is considered the godfather of Guitar Face.
Yeah, is he? Okay,
Yeah, he
all
is.
right.
There, if you look up, the only other person I could find, maybe a little earlier, and there is video of Son House playing with Buddy Guy of all people in the '60s, and he gets quite emotive when he's playing. And Son House, taught Robert Johnson some guitar things, but BB King is considered,
Okay, I don't think it hurt his playing.
No, I think. The one on the left is very good. I heard it described as he had one. A wife described his playing as if he sucked on a lemon,
Okay, that's a good description.
and he's getting that shock of the sour. But it's a sweet sound of BB King.
Okay. Okay. So the next in the line of Guitar Face you feel is Buddy Guy.
Buddy Guy. Now, Buddy will be. He released a record on his 89th birthday. He'll be 90 next July.
Now, do you suppose? Now, he was a studio player for a lot of these sort of chess blues albums, right?
Right.
Do you suppose he was doing Guitar Face in the studio?
Buddy Guy, I would say was. Yes.
I would say he probably was.
I think his it's in his playing. Have you seen Buddy Guy play?
I have
haven't you?
not. No.
I've seen him 3 times, but
Was he ever without Guitar Face?
no.
No. Okay. Okay. So the next one is
Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix, an essential part of Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Yes. Yeah, he's I wondered how tall he was. His hands like just totally surround that neck. It's sort of incredible.
Okay, now so we're going to this is probably perhaps the apex of guitar. Well, maybe the apex of classic rock era of Guitar Face. Santana.
And that people still know today. I mean, probably most people know
He's
him.
in pain.
He is birthing. He is birthing that note.
He
I
is
think.
birthing the note. That's a good way to put it. Yes.
Yeah, I don't think Carlos could play without.
No,
without
do you
doing
think
that.
I'm right though? Do you think it's true that this is this part of the? I mean, at some point they've clued in as part of the performance, right?
Yeah, okay.
It's
so,
I mean, since it's since they're on stage, people are watching them. They're not just hearing music. There's got to be some visual aspect of it, and they must have clued in at some point that this is part of the show. Although I do think that this is also a way for a player to kind of be less aware of the fact they're standing in front of people.
yeah, I think they describe this in the literature, if I can be so bold as to call it that, as entering the flow state. That I think you're right. I think they do sort of like, have a little out of body experience.
Yeah, you're not. You're. Think about it. You're playing in front of, huge numbers of people, and which could certainly be a distraction and to make you lose focus on what you're there to do.
True. Yeah.
And so, this is a way to kind of blot that out of your literally out of your vision, and also kind of out of your thoughts.
Yeah.
It's a way to kind of center you back into what you're doing, I think.
Yeah. No, my real thoughts about it are that I think I think it can be performed, and I think people could kind of mail in a performance by doing all these antics. But I think there's some artists where I think you're getting the real deal, and this is just part of it.
Okay. Gary Moore.
Yeah.
He is gritting his teeth there. He's just in such state.
He is working hard there. You definitely see it during a performance too, because you see because you look at your watch, you're going, okay, these guys are going to be on for 2 hours, but you see a kind of flow in terms of the performance, and then when they're kind of like dialing it up, and they're going to hit certain points, and then they're going to kind of bring the performance down, and then but these guys, there's good videos of him performing at Montreux, and on YouTube and what have you, and. Yeah, he worked hard. I think I'd give him,
Okay.
he's not faking it. He's not mailing it in.
Okay. Stevie Ray Vaughan.
So, yeah,
Okay.
he's considered, I guess. If you,
His fingers hurt.
yeah,
He's literally in pain right there, probably.
he probably is. And if he's using those big, the 13, the 56 or whatever those strings were, he probably was in pain. But
Okay, now I think we're entering. Now this is the modern. These are the most recent people known for Guitar Face,
who've taken up the mantle
and
don't disappoint.
This I think maybe even brought it to a new level.
Johnny, I've seen
Johnny Lang.
I saw him open up for Buddy Guy too, and he
It's like a crime has been committed.
yeah, he's got it going. So
Maybe that's too much. I think that's too much. Now I'm sure he's doing it for probably the same reason as everybody else. But wow, yeah,
he's working hard.
okay, and John Mayer.
John Mayer has it.
He's got some weird
acoustically,
relationship going on with the microphone there,
and
though.
he's got it. He's
Okay.
got it electrically.
Now, you gave me these to put up,
Yep.
and I thought about it. I think that there is a group of players out there who are not taking the Guitar Face seriously. They're too happy. It's the happy Guitar Face. Now, does this mean that they're not really focusing on the guitar place for what it should be? Mark Lettieri. Look at how content he is there.
He's a happy fellow. I think.
That's true. I think you're probably right about that. But he's got happy guitar faces.
Yeah. He seems to be.
These are all jam bands too.
Oh, interesting.
The Trey from Fish.
I've found newfound respect for
Can
Trey.
you take him seriously with he's so happy?
Well, I don't know much about Fish, honestly. I'm not. I know a little bit about the music.
Is they cheapening the seriousness of the guitar face with being contented, having a happy guitar face?
Now you're making me wonder. Did Jerry Garcia have a guitar face? He was kind of.
I
happy
looked.
Too.
He had a serious guitar face.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Oh,
Not happy.
interesting. You have
Corey Wong.
I think you maybe have onto something. These are all
jam bands.
interesting.
Right there.
Yeah, Newport Jazz Festival.
Huge smile, but it's the guitar face. It's a guitar face. This is a repeat thing. Now, if is it take on a different thing when it's a smile? Is it no longer a guitar face? Is this the put on one? I don't know.
Interesting. Then.
Okay, that's it for the guitar face, but we're going to go on to the Rorschach riffs, Matthew.
Oh,
And your Rorschach riff is not a riff. Well, let's see here. It is going to be you, Donnie Millsap,
do I have to do
in character doing guitar faces. Now, I don't know how this is going to go. We're going to have to guess the guitar face.
You're gonna
now-
have to try to guess the guitar face.
I feel like we should get a list, like a multiple choice. I mean, the guitar faces are so varied.
Well,
How can you assign it to just one player? Maybe you can. We're going to find out.
I'll see if you can guess them, but I'll tell you, I'll give you the list is limited to the ones that we've shown.
Oh, okay. So I have to, of the ones up there. Okay, how many total are you going to mimic the ones that were already up there? Okay,
That's what I'm going to try to do as best I can.
Okay, so
I'm going to try to do 4.
okay, now if you're listening to the podcast, you're just going to miss out on this. Unless you can hear Matthew's skin cracking from sheer force of will, contorting his face into shapes that are unnatural.
Now, I should take my glasses off for these, shouldn't I?
I don't know.
I think
you're in character, not me. Okay.
I think we need to
Is
do
the
this.
mustache kind of blocking the guitar face here, Matthew? Or is it
We'll see.
okay?
Okay. Here. Okay.
Okay.
So
now,
here,
what are the total numbers you're going to do?
I'm gonna do
here?
4.
You're going to do 4. Okay. So
Okay.
we got more than 4 that we looked there. So
Yep.
okay. All right.
all right. So I'm going to go.
Hold on.
Ready?
What? Okay. How long are you going to hold these for?
As long as I can,
Okay.
or until you say, okay, that's enough.
Okay. Shit. Let me write down. Oh, I didn't bring a pen. Okay.
Here's a pen.
Okay. I might need to. I might need to write these down. Just it might be way more complicated than I'm anticipating. Okay. You ready to guitar face,
Ready.
Matthew?
Okay.
Okay.
Here's the first one.
Hold that. I don't know which one that. Okay. Here. Okay. Stop.
I need a guitar.
It doesn't work without a guitar.
It's hard without a guitar.
Okay. Well, let me. I'm gonna. There was okay. I'm gonna guess. Okay. Now, do you remember the sequence here?
Yes.
Should I?
That's number 1.
Okay, that's number 1. Go ahead. Let's hear. See
number
number 2.
two?
I've got to guess, but I may have to.
Okay.
Number two. It's the same. Oh no, I know what that is. That yeah. Okay. I think you're gritting your teeth the wrong direction, though.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I wanted to bring in a water bottle and spray it on my face, but
Oh.
I thought
Okay.
that might interfere with the electronics. Okay.
Okay, we got 2
now
there.
this one I do
Okay,
need a
now
prop.
to describe the last one, you were gritting your teeth
But I didn't
in a
have my
pained
guitar.
expression.
Yeah.
Okay. 3.
Okay, this one I need a prop for, so this is my one.
Okay. Well, these are easier than I thought. You're good. You're good.
I practice these.
Okay.
Okay.
That was guitar face number
Number
3.
3, and then
Okay.
number 4.
Okay. Okay, that is okay, that is
I call that going to the dentist.
that is okay,
That's number
hold on.
4.
Okay, hold on. I think I know that one. Okay.
Do you need to repeat any, or you're okay?
No. Oh, that's 4. That's 4
4.
right there. Man,
You-
every time I laugh, it makes me need a blind. No, your outfit is. Okay. Okay. Don't tell me what the answer is.
Okay.
If I'm wrong,
All right. I won't say.
I want to guess again. I want you to do it again, and I want to
Okay.
guess.
I got you. So
First one, Stevie Ray Vaughan.
no.
Oh.
Wasn't meant to be.
Okay, hold on. We'll have to do that again. Okay. Second one was Gary Moore. The Gritting Teeth, I think, had to be Gary Moore.
Yes, it was Gary Moore.
Third one's John Mayer.
Yes.
He was because of your relationship with the microphone there.
Yes.
The
Correct.
last one was Johnny Lang.
Yes.
The pure sheer terror
Just
of Johnny Lang's guitar.
That's
face.
actually good. That's a good way of describing
So
it.
it was definitely fitting with Halloween. Okay, let's. So I got 3 out of 4 right. Let's see the first one again. Okay, and then maybe I'll go through the. Should we actually? When we're done here, we'll actually
you-
for the audience we'll do A/B comparisons.
Oh, really?
So we'll
Wow.
see whether or not you've really measured up.
That's pressure now.
Okay. Do the first one again.
Okay, I'll do my best for the. Now, do you want any hints or no?
Not yet.
Okay.
I feel
All
I
right.
can get this. I
Okay.
don't want to. I don't want to tarnish the victory.
Okay, hang on. Okay.
Open mouth. Is the head angle part of it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Huh?
Little bit.
A little bit. Okay. All right. Let me think here.
The mustache is good though. Put it that way.
Oh,
There's a little hint for you.
did someone have a mustache on those?
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Okay. Then it's Santana.
Yes.
Do it again.
Well,
I
it's
don't
my
think that
best.
looked quite like Santana.
Well, it's hard. I mean, I'll give him his props. It's hard to do that.
Oh, your head's tipped the wrong way.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Let's see here.
I needed a hat too. I was looking for a hat.
Yeah,
I didn't
okay,
don't have
okay.
a hat like that.
All right.
the
Well,
roller.
let's see. Okay. So Matthew, we'll have you do. Let's. We'll just do A/B comparison again.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll start with Santana.
All right. Let's see. Are you want to just do it?
You do it, and then I will quickly go to. Okay, you tipped your head right. That's a little bit. His jaw's a little bit. You're pretty good.
He's working.
Pretty good. Okay. So the second one was Gary Moore. Let's get you back here, and we'll do your best Gary Moore guitar face. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. You got it? Pretty close.
Their teeth together.
Pretty close.
It's hard.
Okay, next is
I need my mic for this
next
one.
is Johnny Lang.
Oh, Johnny Lang.
You might throw your jaw out on this.
We're doing Johnny.
Yeah. Is that right? No. Sorry, John Mayer's
John Mayer. I need
next.
my microphone for this.
Okay.
We just do it.
I think you have to have the top lip going one way and the bottom lip going the other. But let's see here. You got it. You're still holding it there. Yeah, pretty good.
That's work.
And now try that next time you play.
Let's see if it,
See if it translates to
better tone.
Better tone.
Better tone through facial.
Okay, and
Grimacing.
the final is Johnny Lang.
Oh my god. This is the trip to the dentist now. Here we go.
Let's see here. He's got you beat.
I can't beat. Yeah, that's
You can't do it.
That's
I
hard
think
work.
only he can do that. Wow.
that's getting into cat territory. They can hyperextend almost. Holy manoli.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe that's what separates. Maybe that's
That's
maybe
what separates the pros from the maybe this is
Just
it.
your average run of the mill.
Yeah.
Maybe we hit on something.
Did the guitar face come first, or does the guitar face appear once you reach that level?
Maybe there's some.
Is it like a sort of a nirvana state?
Maybe there's some.
You have to hope you can get to this part where you can levitate.
Maybe there's some somebody says, "Hey, kid, you got to play the guitar because they
You got a face for guitar.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Matthew, you're going to do your musical musings.
Oh, okay. I got. Some,
I mean, were we with the Rorschach riffs?
yeah. I think we did it.
Okay. Or do you have musical musings?
Yeah, I got a couple I could go over.
Okay, let's see. Let's check back with Paul. Paul, we're going to check back with you here.
All right.
Well, what are you doing?
I am about to put a cover on a pickup.
Okay, show the camera of a throwback PAF reproduction cover so they can see the get right up there to the camera. No, closer, right to the lens. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. People. Oh, you're really gonna do it? Oh, maybe too much. Okay. All right. Thank you. That's one of our lightly aged PAF covers, made in the U.S., stamped with our tooling, plated here in Grand Rapids, aged here at Throwback, lightly aged. That was a lightly aged one, and desired the world over. That's not an exaggeration either. Okay. Well, that's not. We're not. Okay, Matthew. Next,
The musical musings?
or your musical music. Is it related to your outfit at all today?
Not really. No.
No, nothing.
So I went to see on. I think today is the. No, it's already done. They did a Depeche Mode, which it doesn't go for this get up, but Depeche Mode released a concert video from their 2023-24 tour. It's filmed in Mexico City. But from the guitar point of view, from an electronic band, the Martin Gore, who's the songwriter, guitar player, keyboard guy for the band, he always has an interesting collection of vintage guitars that he plays. But actually, one of them wasn't vintage. The first one you see in the movie is a pretty nice black Novo guitar.
You saw the movie.
I saw the movie. Yeah, it was on IMAX this past week. I saw.
Man, you
Tuesday.
go. I totally am clueless to these IMAX movies.
I don't know. I got
I'm
it on
just not-
Instagram.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
But the movie itself was like, because it was kind of the name of the tour was the Memento Mori tour, so it's like, remember you two shall die, in Latin. But it was this sort of metaphor and this sort of meditation in a way on death.
Thanks.
And again, I'd write you down. Well, it was kind of a downer movie because they instead of just like play the more concert footage, they kept on breaking it, and they had this guy, these sort of Mexican artists and these people talking about the culture there, and it was all it was in subtitles, so it kind of broke up the movie too much. But you did get to see some of Martin Gore's vintage guitars, which is what I was kind of interested in. But he had a nice black Novo, which is new but looks kind of cool, and then he played a non-reversed Firebird with the whammy bar, the Gibson whammy bar. He had it looked like a.
Now I should know this, but the non-reversed one is that one the one with the toggle switch at the top?
I can't remember. It definitely was.
Is it the
non-reversed.
ugly one or the cool looking one?
It kind of it was.
Well, is it the one?
Two
You know what I mean?
pickup,
One of them
humbucker.
has the pickups mounted to the picker. It has P90s.
Yeah, this had mini humbuckers in it.
Okay, so then and it had like metal mounting rings for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
pretty
I don't know why I don't own one, so I probably just don't remember what's reverse and non-reverse. Okay, go ahead.
And then he pulled out, I think, like a Sonic Blue, probably like a late '60s Mustang, which looked kind of cool. And what else did he have? And then he had his. Couldn't tell if it was a vintage Gretsch or he also has a signature model that he play on, like Enjoy the Silence and Personal Jesus and things like that. So it was kind of cool. The movie was like, eh. I saw them on that tour in Detroit.
Well, did you feel that the guitars, it was enough guitars to make up for the eh?
Well, the concert was good, but they kept on sort of like breaking up between songs. They would go off and do this. They'd show you like a stream or something, and then talk about what it means to die or something.
Okay, all right. You're done with the musical music. It always comes into some morbid thing.
And then my last musical music is they announced yesterday that is it Morgan Waller? Is that his name? He's some country artist.
Yeah,
he's going to play 2 shows at the Big House, the Michigan Stadium in Ann Arbor next July.
Really?
2 shows.
So they've opened up the one you went to is opened up the.
I saw Zach Bryan on September 27th.
The place to that went well enough that they see the dollars rolling in.
Yeah. I mean, they had 112,000+ people there for Zach Bryan. He did $5 million in merchandise, which they said was a record.
Wow.
And then
it's a lot of T-shirts.
A year ago or so, or a year and a half ago, they started selling beer and things there. So it's just a massive trough of potential, money. So yeah, they're going to do that. There's going to be, I think it's back to back.
Well,
there's 2 shows.
Listen, I'm surprised because universities are not about profit. It's only about education.
Well, yeah. You got none of what they're paying the players and stuff. I don't know what the cut is in terms of like what the athletic department gets, and probably the university must get a few of that those dollars. So they're neat events, though. They're the Zach Bryan concert was fun. So it'll
okay.
But what's interesting is like these are huge stadium tours, and they're country artists.
Yeah. And to you wouldn't think of U of M as being sort of a bastion of country music fans, right? Even that region, but obviously they can fill the place up.
Yeah.
All right, that's it
for me.
You're done with your musings.
I'm done with my musings.
Okay, let's go on to the outro. Are there any parting things you want to discuss, Donnie Millsap?
Well, I'll be in town for the all this weekend at the Van Andel Arena with the Disney on Ice.
That's right. You're touring right now. You're working.
I'm the Mickey Mouse Wrangler.
Now, so you said Kiss. You were responsible for the M&Ms. What are you responsible with for Disney on Ice?
Well,
I mean, there's got to be some sort of, what kind of personalities do you have to deal with?
Mainly 5-year-olds have to keep them away from tearing Mickey Mouse to pieces. That's the main job.
Okay.
It's a tough job.
Let's check in with Paul. Paul, we're almost done. We didn't have any quizzes for you. Do you feel left out?
I do.
Oh well. Were you able to get stuff done, or were we just too much of a distraction?
No.
Show the audience some of the things you've got
around.
there. Show the audience some of the things you've got there. You've got the little jig that we had made up to clamp pickups for assembly with covers. Our friend Breck drew that up with direction from me and had that 3D printed. What else you got there, Paul?
Oh, I got
show them the you got the thing over there. It's got a pedal, and you strip the wire with it. You just show everybody that. This is how Paul strips the braided wire. I do it too. So does Matthew. Look, he just stripped the braided wire. So we're not sparing any efficiency to keep the quality high and the customer, the price to the customer as low as possible for the stellar specifications that they get with throwback pickups. Paul, can you? I see a Gauss meter there. Show them the Gauss meter. It's to your left, right there. Those aren't made anymore. It's Carl's.
My brain has 0 Gauss.
Oh, well, I hope that's not a problem.
Yeah, I don't know.
Looks like a phaser from Star
Okay,
Trek.
show them the torque drivers there. So, and I mean, just so people know, he pushes the button there and makes the screwdriver go. We have equipment here to do this efficiently, so we can do it efficiently and accurately. It really to keep the price down. It's not keep the price down. Make them efficiently so that when people order, they get them in a week, or at least ship out of here in a week. Unless we are just totally swamped, then it might be a few more days than that. But that's our goal. Anything more exciting to show?
These are P90 jigs.
Oh, yeah, P90 jig. Gotta start the music again. This might become the most watched part of the show, you think? Hey, Paul doing show and tell. Oh, there's a jig for the pickup assemblies for PAF and the assembly jigs for when both when they're flipped over to assemble it. All right. Is there anything more exciting, Matthew? We'll show more of that later. Okay, let's see Matthew and I here. Hold on. Thank you, Paul.
You're welcome.
Okay, Donnie, we're gonna go.
Gotta go. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
Where are you going? What town are you going to next?
Peoria.
What's your favorite town in the whole wide USA? Or let's start in the US. What's your favorite town?
Des Moines.
Why? You like corn?
The vast fields of corn as you drive through Iowa.
Okay.
That's all there is.
How about in the world? You've traveled the world, right?
That's a good question. The favorite town? Little town in Ontario called Dutton.
Dutton. What's Dutton have?
Little bit of charm, little bit of a
What's
lakes up there.
What's your favorite greasy spoon restaurant that you would traveling the roads of the world, the U.S., where you'd like that truck stop has got the best crappy food ever?
The Fifth Wheel outside of Kitchener.
Oh, is there actually a place called that?
There was. I don't know if it's around anymore.
Okay, got shut down probably by the health
The
department.
health department shut it down.
Okay, that's it. Thank you, Donnie.
Alrighty.